Ithaca, ruled by the great king Odysseus. It had not come without a price, for it had not been an easy journey to get here. In fact, a journey like this has a name, and that name is an Odyssey. Our story begins with Telemachus, whose house is currently overrun with suitors. He goes to the town square to make a speech. And under the guidance of Athena, Telemachus, a boy when he leaves home, but a man when he returns, begins his journey to find his father. He boards the boat, and his journey begins. On Mount Olympus, Athena convinces Zeus to let Odysseus leave. Meanwhile, Odysseus, who is still stuck on Calypso's island, is feeling very sad. The gods convince Calypso to let him go, and Calypso reluctantly agrees, in fear of what the gods will do to her if she does not let Odysseus go. Odysseus is given food and supplies, along with a raft, so that he may escape this island once and for all. Things are starting to look up for Odysseus, as he leaves Calypso's island after 7 long years. However, Poseidon isn't quite done with his wrath yet. He sends a storm and knocks Odysseus right off of his raft and into the water. Odysseus barely escapes with his life and makes it to the island of the Phaeacians. There, he meets King Alcinous, who gives him room and board in exchange for Odysseus telling his great tale of struggle. It all began when they landed on the island of the Cyclops and entered Polyphemus' cave. Suddenly, the door shut, and Polyphemus enters himself. Odysseus stabs Polyphemus with a flaming stick, and he and his men escape under the cover of the sheep. Odysseus' biggest mistake was calling out his full name and address to Polyphemus right before he left. I'm on a boat! I'm on a boat! Everybody look at me! Odysseus and his men briefly stop on the island of the Lotus Eaters. However, it's quite clear why they leave soon after that. When they reach the island of Circe, she turns all of his men into swine. Odysseus demands that she turn his men back into men, and she agrees. And after staying for a whole year, she instructs him to go down to the underworld to consult Tiresias, who specifically tells him not to eat any of Helios's cattle, or else all of his men will die. He also has a brief encounter with his now dead mother, who gives him an update on what's happening back in Ithaca. And as you can guess, eating Helios's cattle had less than ideal effects on Odysseus and his men. And so this is how Odysseus concludes his story on how he got stuck on Calypso's island. However, this isn't the end for him yet. He still has one more task to complete. While Odysseus was telling his story, Telemachus was at King Menelaus' place, learning what he could about his father's disappearance. Once Odysseus leaves the island of the Phaeacians, he goes back to Ithaca, where he is warmly greeted by the swineherder. Suddenly, a familiar face comes by, and it's Telemachus, and the two finally meet each other for the first time. And after 20 long years, Odysseus finally gets to see Penelope once again as they meet under the moonlight. Penelope has set up a contest on whoever can string Odysseus' bow and shoot through 12 axe heads will be the one to marry her. And as you can see, all the suitors fail. But when Odysseus steps up, he perfectly executes it and shoots all the axes. Odysseus then shoots Antinous right in the neck. And with this, the battle to get rid of all of these pesky suitors that have plagued upon Odysseus' home for so long has begun. After many long years, Odysseus finally gets a chance to catch up with his father. However, Odysseus' actions did not go unnoticed by the town. It seemed that all of Ithaca was ready to fight him in revenge for killing all of their sons. However, Athena came down and spoke to all of them, begging them to stop fighting. And because of Athena's intervention, peace was finally restored to Ithaca. Jacob, what are you doing? Jacob, no, oh my god, well, that's unfortunate.